Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to share with you guys 5 tips for increasing your productivity. I don't know about you guys, but I am struggling with being productive. Now, first I want to preface this by saying that being productive is different for everyone. So what I consider productive might not be productive to the next person, but I have been struggling with productivity, particularly since quarantine, because I'm working from home, doing, my full-time job stuff as well as my side hustle stuff, which is just a huge struggle because I am normally used to I'm an extrovert and I'm used to just kind of going out and about, and I found myself not really being too productive. Now, I've been wanting to film this video for a long time, but I feel like now it really seems like the perfect time to do so. So if you're interested in hearing about a few ways to be a little bit more productive, particularly during this time, then please keep watching. So my first tip is to implement some type of planning system. It doesn't necessarily have to be a paper planner, which is what I prefer. So that is normally what I am ranting and raving about. And I have this cute little planner and it just makes my life much better. But you could also maybe implement some type of digital planning system. There are digital planners out there that you can even decorate if you want to and spruce up a little bit. You could use a dry erase board. There are tons of dry erase boards out there that have they're not just white boards. They have a lot going for them. I actually have more like a blank one over here, and I'm looking at getting a different one so maybe I can plan out the week. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a paper planner. It could be a digital planner. It could be a calendar on your iPhone. It could be some type of Google spreadsheet, just something so that you can organize your time. And that is the key here. The key is to plan out your months. Plan out your weeks, plan out your days, plan out whatever it is that you can plan out, because that is key to my next tip. So my next tip is organizing your time. I kind of mentioned it a little in the first tip, but the beauty in planning out your year or your month or your week or your days or whatever so that you can organize your time. You then will know what times you have within the day, what times you have within the week, within the month to be productive. My next tip is to figure out what you're going to do during those times of productivity. So let's say you have an hour after work one day, or after planning out your week, you find a couple of hours within your week where you can be productive. Figure out what you're going to be doing to be productive. That has helped me a whole lot, especially as a person who has a full-time job. Whenever I can kind of organize my time and then further plan out what productive things I'm going to do during that time, it makes life so much easier. Like I mentioned before, productivity looks different for every person. For me, being productive might look like filling orders. For someone else, being productive might look like cooking dinner. So productivity looks different for every person, or the definition of productivity, but I would definitely recommend trying to figure out what you're going to do during those productive times. You can do that by creating a to-do list. One of the things that I like to do is plan out my day by the hour, if applicable. Some days that's doing too much and I don't do that. But if I can plan out my day by the time, write down my to-dos, and even sometimes I further categorize my to-dos. A lot of times actually, I'll do my top 3 and my bottom 3. Top 3 are just the main things that I want to get done that day, that week, that month, whatever. The bottom 3 are the things that would really make me feel really, really good if I'm able to get those things accomplished as well. So top 3, bottom 3. If you're not going to do that, then maybe just do a top 3. If you're not going to do that, maybe just write out a list of to-dos that you would like to get done during that given productivity time. Another tip that I have is to create a master to-do list, just basically a running to-do list, not a goal list or anything like that, which sometimes to-dos and goals are the same thing, but just a running to-do list. Therefore, maybe you don't feel like planning out your whole day. Maybe you don't feel like doing the top 3, bottom 3. Maybe you don't feel like doing all of that, but there are times that you find yourself having some free time or some time that you might want to spend doing something productive, and then you can maybe just refer to your list and get to actually completing some of the things on that master to-do list. One of the things that's actually on my running to-do list is updating my website. I feel like there's never a time where my website couldn't use some work. So whenever I'm finding myself just kind of sitting around, not really doing anything, then I try to refer to my master to-do list to see if there's anything on there that I can get to be a little bit productive. My final tip, or tip number 5, is kind of related to organizing your time. I would highly recommend working in smaller increments if you can. If you're anything like me, I kind of get distracted easily and I'm kind of like all over the place. So one of the things that I'll do is I'll try to pinpoint something that I want to do for my to-do list, and I will work on that for as long as it takes in shorter increments. So it's highly unlikely that I'm going to sit down and do anything for a couple of hours straight, or even an hour straight, without, you know, trying to check my phone or getting distracted or whatever the case is. So I like to just try to pick out a to-do or a task and work on it in shorter increments. And I normally do this by using a timer, but there are other tools and methods out there that you can use to, you know, time your productivity as well. What really helps me is to sit down, look at my to-do list, figure out what task I want to do. Literally, sometimes I'll leave my phone in another room or have it on the charger or give it to my husband and tell him to keep it and don't give it to me, and then I'll come do whatever it is that I need to do. Normally, any type of task that I'm doing, it honestly can be like, unless it's like, you know, a really big project, any like little to-do or task that I'm working on could probably get completed in 20 minutes if I work, you know, hard enough and I'm not being distracted. So that's something that I try to do, is just finish the task and then, you know, take a quick break. And that could be like a walk around break, that could be a phone break, that could be a walk outside and get some vitamin D and some sunlight break. Whatever it is that you need to do to kind of like recharge so that you can get back on task, do it. And like I said, I normally do like 20-30 minute increments, which is plenty, and then I'll take like a 5-minute break or something like that, 10-minute break. But you might be able to go longer than me and maybe do like an hour or an hour and a half, 45 minutes, whatever, that's fine. But if you can just focus on the one task, take a break, come back, that's gonna be key. A lot of people always ask me how I'm so productive, which I really feel like, honestly, I implement these strategies, obviously, or I wouldn't be sharing them, but I really feel like I'm probably chilling more than I'm actually being productive. And that's because when I sit down and make up my mind that I'm going to be productive, I'm going to be productive. So you guys know that since I work a full-time job and I have a little side hustle, I normally try to crank out like an 8-hour full-blown shift of side hustling on Saturdays. And that's normally particularly because my husband works on Saturdays, so I don't really have anything to do better with my time than do my side hustle. So that's normally what I try to do. And so I plan out all week what I'm gonna do on Saturday. What I don't get done on Friday, I then plan out that whatever those tasks are for Saturday, and then I have a strict no BS plan as to what it is that I'm gonna do on Saturday. So I wake up. If that's filling orders, then I fill orders. If that's, you know, filming some videos, then I film the videos. If that's whatever it is that I need to be doing on that Saturday, I go ahead and do it. And that's because I have planned out my time. I planned out my week to account for the 8 hours that I'll be able to, you know, work on Saturday, and I just crank it out. But I also realize that not everybody has 8 hours to work on their, you know, passion project or, you know, their business or their side hustle or whatever the case is. So bonus tip, that is where those power hours come into play. And I really love my power hours, because I try to do those a couple of times a week, cranking out some Etsy orders, seeing what all I can do in an hour, seeing how many, you know, if I can record a video and maybe, you know, start trying to edit it within the hour, or uploading a video and creating my thumbnail. Or I do power cleaning hours. I do power hours for basically anything, and that's because there are 24 hours in a day. I'm working 8 of them and commuting, which makes that about 9 hours. I have to get ready and eat dinner and all of that, which is taking up a couple more hours. I have to sleep. So I know if I can have just 1 hour of doing the things that I deem productive, then that's probably gonna make me feel a lot better about my day, my week, my month, and making sure, most importantly, that I'm on track with meeting my goals and just, you know, doing the things that I wanna do. I say this all the time, I can accept failure. If I try really hard at something and it just doesn't work out, I'm okay with that. What I can accept is not trying. So if I haven't tried to complete my goals or to, you know, cross some things off of my to-do list, and I haven't put forth my best effort, I can accept that. As we all know, time is not on our side. We cannot get it back. And so I want to make sure I'm making the best use of my time. So those are my tips, my 5 tips plus my bonus tip to being productive and killing the game. If you guys have any other productivity tips, I would love to hear about them down in the comment section, because I'm always just trying to figure out new ways to be productive. One tip that I once heard somebody say, which I already do it anyway, but I never thought of it as being like super productive, bonus tip, is something like as an example, if I get an email and I read it and the response that it requires is kind of short, maybe like a yes or a no or whatever, just going ahead and doing it and getting it out of the way, so that doesn't even have to go on your to-do list, because you've already taken care of it. If it's something that's kind of small, minute, something that you can give attention to in a few minutes and it not disrupt your day or your schedule, just going ahead and doing it. Like I said, I've always done that because I feel like why, you know, wait to do something simple when I can do it now. But that was actually, you know, something that I recently learned and like, you know, had to think through. So anyway, those are my tips for being productive. Again, let me know if you have any productivity tips. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay home, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.